What is up? Welcome into Driving the Nightline. My name is Alan Bell. We got a fantastic show lined up for you this afternoon. So good to see everybody. Hope you're doing good. All right. Matty Boy said meeting bonanza continues here in spirit. Let's have a day, gang. Yeah. Hey, hope those meetings go well, big dog. Optical, my man said, let's get it. Hey, let's get it indeed. All right, let's jump right into it here. So we have to talk about something. Okay. Now, FIU, Florida, that under got blasted. What was it? 17-11. Got smoked. Tennessee Tech, Middle Tennessee. So here is unfortunately another I don't know what you'd say, a risk that we're going to have to avoid. So Tennessee and Tech, MTSU under 14.5. So the bet hit. However, the bet didn't hit because likely it was voided out because MTSU won 11-1 and it was run ruled. So that means that it was 0-1 for the day if it were voided, right? If it cashed you, well done. But here's the problem. I don't know if we can bet anything under 14.5. And I'll explain what I mean by that. But here's the problem. If we run into these totals and these run rules keep happening, it's not a good tool to use. So we're going to have to address it as we go. It's not going to apply to every game. It's not going to apply to mini games, but it is going to apply this first month. Hopefully I said that somewhat coherently. Hopefully you got what I was talking about. Pogo, hey, be a little morning Bucknell Army first half under gets me on the board for the day. Let's go, Pogo. Let's get it, man. Big Zach said hit the like button on your way in. Definitely, man. And Zach, hey, I appreciate you, big dog. Hunter, bet unders on FanDuel and bet MGM. All right, perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what I was getting at. So it's like, all right, it reaches a number, and we'll jump into the show in a second, but it reaches a number where it's like, okay, if it's 13.5, right? Like, oh, I don't know, man. We're going to have to address these because, yeah. I hate that tool could be taken away from us. So, yeah, we're just going to have to get our books. So, anyways, yeah, I'll stop talking about it. I'm going in circles, but, yeah, bet unders, FanDuel, and bet MGM. Good call here. Trick shot Tim, Florida Atlantic plus 3.5 runs. Miami's 9-0, but playing first road game. FAU won at Miami in fall exhibition games. And all three games last year were decided by one run. Excellent look. I'll tell you what, I think we're going to align on something here. Miami, Florida Atlantic over 13.5. My boy, Trick Shot Tim. Let me read yours again because, look, I have Miami on the money line from the morning show, but I don't disagree whatsoever. I think FAU is going to come out and hit. I love that we're both looking at it different bets, but kind of the same way. So, yeah, you've got FAU plus 3.5. There we go, man. All right, I'm going to take Miami, Florida Atlantic over 13.5, minus 115 tonight. I'm also going to take BYU and Long Beach State over 11.5 tonight. Heading out to the West Coast. I think we can get here. Got to get BYU bats going. And tonight's a night to do it. Long Beach, we should have some decent weather out there. So come on, boys. Let's go. 11.5. We could get there. We could do it. All right, so let's walk through these games. So these are the two that I have adding on top of the morning show. If anybody has any picks, drop those in. Definitely get them up on the screen. Number two, if you want to stop on any of the games, just let me know. We'll definitely do that. We'll walk through them here. Banner at the bottom for the picks, and I think we're good to go. So, all right, so let's jump into it here. All right, so weather. Let's take a look here. First, all right, just looking at the temperature across the country, okay? So we've been looking at Texas, this Midwest kind of region here, and it's warm, and the wind is blowing. Same as it was yesterday. Not as heavy, but kind of. I mean, it's still there. It's like 17 miles an hour. So you've got that and the temperature, but you look across the country here, just in terms of games of what we're looking at temperature-wise. Now, taking a look at wind. So like we just said, same area here, all right, that in between Dallas, Austin, kind of East Texas. Yeah, 17-mile-an-hour winds blowing to the northwest. So, again, games that we saw yesterday, they're going to have high totals. We're going to have them again. Not as high as they were yesterday, but we're going to have them. All right, and humidity here, 45%. Nothing really humidity-wise. West Coast, it's nice, though. Long Beach, let's go, baby. All right, stadium guide. Again, let me take the banner down real quick. I'm going to leave this on the screen for like 5 seconds. Just in case anybody needs to screenshot it in full, there you go. Okay, so let's jump into it now. Let me get the banner back up. Let's go. All right, so same deal. I put the lifesaver on games where I want to take a deeper look at the total. All right, so Georgetown, UMBC, nothing for me here on this game. I am kind of excited to, catch some of Georgetown. I don't know how much of that game I would be able to check out, but yeah, it is what it is. All right, VCU, North Carolina. All right, North Carolina -4.5 on the run line, -600 on the money line. But I want to take a look at this total. What do you think about 13 flat right here? I don't hate it. I think you're definitely going to get young arms, fourth inning to the end. And VCU can hit. Now, 13 is still a big number, though. So, what do we have to get there? 7-6 for a push? 8-6 on the over? Now, again, we're going to have it's warmer today than it was yesterday. So, and we saw some crazy runs. But that flat number caught my attention. North Carolina caught my attention. And here's the other part, too. So this is kind of what I was getting at here. Let's do the math on these run rules and where we can get into trouble. So playing an under of 12, 11-1, it pushes, but it also could trigger that, right? Once we get above 12, 13, 14, I don't know. I'm not the best math guy in terms of this, but there has got to be a percentage chart of run rule comparative to totals from 11 to 15. If anyone's a mathematician and can understand the applesauce slop that I just threw at you, you get what I'm saying. But that 13 flat is fascinating. I don't know what we're going to get from VCU, but if we can get some runs there, man, we could get there. Arkansas State and Arkansas. What do you think this game's going to be? Arkansas loses yesterday, and the attitude in college baseball for a midweek loss for Arkansas, like they're not coming in like foaming at the mouth. You know what I mean? But you are going to get attention to detail at the plate a little bit more. Okay. Over under 13.5. 9-5 gets us over. How many runs do you think we could have in Arkansas today? Over under 8.5. Mixter the Clipster. Good afternoon, AB and crew. Good afternoon, Mixter. So good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. All right, so if you're playing the over and you're worried about Arkansas just laying the lumber today. So if you're playing the over 14, 11-1, 12-2. 12-2 gets you over. So so that's kind of what I was getting at, the reasoning. So 11-1, 10-0 and 11-1 are the only two run rules that can get you with a 13.5. Okay. So you're all right there. Mixer said it's my dog's account. Tina. Hey, Tina. Hey, all right, pet Mixer for us. All right. Give Mick a pet and a big hug. Tina, good to see you. Oh, I love it. Pets are the best. All right. So what do you do here? Does anybody have a look? Again, you're not going to get like foaming at the mouth, Arkansas, but I wouldn't be surprised if they hit today. I wouldn't be surprised at all. All right, Western Kentucky and Kentucky. So we're on Kentucky on the money line here. Take it on Western, total of 13.5, pretty much kind of like right where we thought it would be. 13.5 is your standard. That's your NFL 45. So, look, both these teams can pitch, but I think they're going to come out and hit. I don't hate the over in this game. I don't think that you're going to get Kentucky to run rule Western. We just need the pace to pick up early in this one. If we get that, and the wind's blowing in our direction here in Lexington, so we might get a shot here. Grand Canyon and UC Irvine, 12.5. UC Irvine won 3-0 yesterday over Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon is not a good baseball team. Now, the concern is for a team that doesn't hit, at some point they're going to hit. But I don't want to bet on that. UC Irvine minus 298, that money line hasn't moved from this morning. That total would scare me. But again, if you're somebody saying, AB, look, I want to come into it today and just identify games where the reasoning makes sense that we could see it under, the history makes sense that we could see it under. Like that's your game. This is your game. Even at 12.5. So I'm not playing it, but just saying, going off of what we've seen so far, Grand Canyon can't hit, and UC Irvine's got arms, and they're not necessarily the Dodgers, at the plate. So UNC Wilmington, Charleston Southern. I agree with Whale this morning on the morning show here on the thought process. Wilmington, don't overthink it, right? Minus 175 on the money line. Now, that's a pretty even money line, man, all things considered to baseball. So I don't want to just let that rip like that. I'm just that confident because I'm not. If I were, I would have bet it. But if Wilmington comes through with the win, that minus 175 can do serious work. Like you could pair that with Florida, one of the big teams, right? And pull one of those in a mix. So, yeah, opportunity on that one. High Point Liberty, total of 14. Let me pull this full screen. Total of 14, minus 166 on the money line. Nothing from me on this. Arizona State, Oklahoma. Okay, here we go. Oklahoma minus 150 on the money line. Arizona State plus 120. So that's dropped. It was Arizona State plus 130 on the money line earlier this morning. So not that it's moved a lot, but total of 15.5. Okay. Weather is back. Not as much, but it's there. What are we doing? What are you doing? First off, what are we doing on who wins this game? So we have the AB3. We have Arizona State in that. Aubie said Irvine equals unders. Auburn, Miami, Florida money line parlay. Yes, sir. My boy. It's good to see you, man. Big Bruce. Spurs team total over. Man, let's get it. Tina, 2 nickels is 2 nickels. Yes, it is. So, okay, we had a total of 17.5 yesterday, and they obliterated it. Well, not obliterated, but you get what I'm saying. They put up a bunch of runs, and most of those were Arizona State. If you're looking at saying, I want to bet what's been happening, that's Arizona State beating the tar out of people and not being ashamed to keep scoring. They're not going to stop. Here's the thing, though. Oklahoma was embarrassed yesterday. They can hit too. What do you want to do with this total? Do we want to have fun with this total or no? All right, let's think on that. I'm going to keep going, but let's think on that. Do we have a look that we want to go on that total? I don't think we're is anybody betting the under? Man, that would be a steal, wouldn't it? After a game like yesterday. All right, so any contrarian bettors out there who are saying AB, yesterday was bait. This is going to end up 3-2. I mean, these are two really good baseball teams. Yeah, I don't know if we get 3-2, but Arizona State is just hitting everything moving right now. So We're rolling Arizona State on the money line. We've got them with North Carolina and Georgia. So plus 225. Let's go. All right, FIU and Florida. So this was Florida won. Florida beat FIU yesterday, 17-11? Yeah, I was an idiot. I had the under in that game. Total of 15. What do we think? Flat 15. Jeff, coming in late. AB got here in time to hit the like. My man, I appreciate you, Jeff. Yeah, I appreciate you big time, buddy. If anybody can hit the like button, that'd be great. That's the last I'll ask of you. I won't ask anything more. All right, so Florida here. Again, these two teams absolutely mashed yesterday. Not much has changed. All right, what do we have to get? 9-7. Okay. So here's the concern. A total of 15. Run rule is in effect a lot here. 10-0, 11-1, 12-2. Stops there. Does that throw you off at all? Now, again, if you're betting the over and it gets run ruled, they'll just, most books, not every book's the same, they'll void it. But that void can stink like last night when you're thinking, all right, man, I can split. We're all right, 1-1. Then the void, and it's 0-1. So we won't deal with this problem all season. Well, the run rule is in effect, but conference play, it tends to not really come into effect, but it might here. So Florida is just mashing. If you're somebody looking at a team total, FIU probably blasted theirs yesterday as well. East Carolina, College of Charleston here. We have East Carolina on the money line for the morning show. -2.5 on the run line. Total of 13.5. Standard fare total here. Nothing from me. Look, we need East Carolina to come out and we need them to hit. We need a cushion. We have to come out. All right. First pitch fastball. I'm not saying we have to swing at every one of them. All right. But when they put it over the plate, we got to take advantage, boys. Come on now. We cannot be hitting in 1-2 counts. You cannot hit with 2 strikes in every at bat. Can't do it.
I cannot play with them. Cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them. Can't do it.
Come on, boys. Come on now. They throw that first pitch, meat fastball right over the plate. Crank. All right. Let's get a little bit of a run buffer here so we don't have to sweat out a 4-2. Jeff. AB, can you get team totals? Neither side I have offers them. Yeah, DraftKings usually does. I didn't pull them. DraftKings in Tennessee. Which books do you use, Jeff? Well, ECU looked good against North Carolina. I like them a lot today. Agreed. Right. And I think that, for a team like East Carolina and the way it started, it hasn't been horrible, but it certainly hasn't been great of what they wanted. Right. Like this is a top 25 team. And yeah, I agree with you. Like, let's come out. Let's play some baseball, Now, as for the total, again, I'm not touching that one. These Carolina games, you got so many arms, man. All right, Miami and FAU. Total of 13.5. All right, we're on the over here. Miami leading the country in runs, home runs. Also leading it in, pitcher strikeouts. Here's the deal, though. Miami, I swear to you, has played 37 games already this year. They've played every day. Does it not feel like Miami has played every day? And what I'm getting at with that is this. Number one, I love what we're seeing from Miami at the plate, obviously. But number two, dude, you and me might be pitching for Miami tonight. Seriously. Right? It's Wednesday. They've played a billion games in a row already. They've got a weekend to look to. Like, I don't think that you're going to get a heavy approach of we need to get our aces out here. No, I think you've got, let's go take a look at a kid. What's he got? And you might have one of these moves, the bullpen type game, bring in a new dude every inning. JDK, what up, AB? My man, what's up, brother? How we doing? You have a good day so far? Good to see you, man. Well, potential sleepy spot for Miami with Florida on deck this weekend. Absolutely. Florida Gators in Miami. Like, I think that exactly what Wales say. And I think the sleepy spot comes on the mound. Now, they might not come out and score 30 runs. We're not saying that they are. But they're on the road, first time, right? All of that. Now, Boca Raton, they're not going too far. But that said, I think the sleepy spot comes on the mound for Miami. So I'm betting on that we're not going to be touching that strikeout, let's set a record. But they could come up and say, all right, we can still mash, you know what I mean? So I'm banking on that, man. But I'm right there with you. Your thought process is spot on. Indiana State, Florida Gulf Coast, I don't have anything here. 13. They gave you a flat on this one. So if you want to use that for push insurance, there you go. USC Upstate, Stetson, nothing here. Kansas, Minnesota, total of 14.5. I was surprised to see 14.5. Now, we talked about this on the college baseball show. Check that out. It is in your feeds now. Newsletter went out, by the way, as well. We're going to have that thing daily, by the way. So hopefully this helps. I just want to make sure I want to get everything in your hands. You could do what you want with it, but I know that it's so tough now just to find, links, all of that. So anyways, if you have any suggestions, let me know. Trust me, you won't hurt my feelings one bit. It's all for the good of the program. All right, Kansas, Minnesota here. These teams get hit, but I am surprised to see 14.5. I think that could be high, especially if Kansas doesn't absolutely go lethal at the plate. This could just be just a good baseball game, man. I mean, 14.5. Again, I know we started the show talking about unders and being careful there. But I don't think you're looking at a run rule here. Over 14.5 would be what, 8-7, which these teams can very easily get there. But yeah, Whale, what do you see out of this one? If we get that 3-1 game through the 6th, that would be glorious if you're looking at the under. All right, Kansas State, Louisiana Lafayette. You get a flat 13 here. Kansas State minus 166 on the money line. Louisiana Lafayette. All these Louisiana teams can play, man. Louisiana Lafayette, Louisiana Tech. McNeese just beat LSU last night. So that's why you're getting Kansas State. They're minus 166. Also, Kansas State, a team that was hitting everything moving. However, if that slows down, what type of team do you have? So if you could figure out this one, you could pair nicely with something else. Tulane, South Alabama. Total of 14.5. I don't have anything here. Sacramento State, Pacific. Sacramento State minus 270. Pacific is bad. Bad. They're going to steal games, but this is not a good baseball team. Not that Sacramento State are the Yankees, but at minus 270, that could. If you've got an extra unit to mess around with, that could be a good little leg right there. Could be. Cal, UC Davis. I quite frankly, I need to know more about Cal. I don't have a good breakdown here. 11.5, though. You seeing these West Coast totals? Yeah. BYU Long Beach State, 11.5 as well. Now, part of it is these teams aren't necessarily mashing everything moving. But we've seen it from West Coast teams every year. Lower totals, generally a slower start offensively. I'm rolling in on this one. Over 11.5. I want to see it from BYU. Now, I don't know a ton on Long Beach State. I don't. Want to know more on BYU? They scare me like their basketball team, but I think they still have that bounce in the bat. So let's take a look here. 11.5. Take our shot. Let's get it. All right. Let me get the picks back up here on the screen. We'll bounce out of here. Like I said, quick show. Just wanted to go over totals, weather, make sure that we were good set up. All right. 2 for me. Miami, Florida Atlantic, over 13.5, minus 115. BYU, Long Beach State, over 11.5, minus 115 as well. All right, perfect. We will jump out of here. Everybody will be live tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern normal time. But until then, best of luck. Let's cash all these baseball tickets, basketball, and more. Until then, we will see you in the morning. Thank you. Take care.
Who's got it better than us?